Well, of course, it's another Sunday, and yes, we're at Grasstrack once again. But this time we've travelled down to the depths of Cornwall for, of course, the National Best Pairs. Cornwall Solo Club are putting on the National Best Pairs this year after Wimborne decided they couldn't run it. And what a terrific venue this is. I remember coming here some 3 years ago for the National Qualifier. We saw some fabulous racing then, and I'm sure we're going to see the same thing again today. Best pairs, well, it puts a different slant on the matter, doesn't it? Because, of course, it's not just a case of somebody winning. They've got to know where their partner is as well. And in the solo lineup, there really are some fascinating pairs. Graeme Gordon has paired up with Steve Daw, and of course that looks a terrific lineup. Steve Daw has also chosen in 350 to partner Dave Mears. What a strong pair that is. But when you put together partners like Simon Giddings and Mike Dowling, what a terrific lineup that is. And of course I think it's going to mean that we're going to have some great competition. The sidecars, nobody's missing, and I think you're going to see some fabulous racing. Well, as I say, one thing you've got to bear in mind is, of course, that pairs racing is not just about winning, it's where your partner is. Fascinating concept. We only do it once a year, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting. One of the most difficult interviews I've ever attempted, because the man behind the camera lens has decided we're going to get two of these sidecar pairs together. And obviously looking at some of the strong competition this afternoon, one of the interesting pairs that's come together right at the last minute is Phil Pitman and Ivor Matthews. Phil, it was a last minute decision, wasn't it, that you paired up?
Yeah, Terry's injury from the qualifier. He tried last week the race, but kept aching his arm, so he said, no good, cannot do. So then Ivor teamed along as well with Roger's engine trouble, so yeah.
An interesting combination then, because Ivor, I don't think you expected to be paired with Phil this afternoon, did you?
No, but no problems with that. I mean, Phil's going well this year, better than us probably, so I think we're the weaker half of the partnership at the moment.
Oh dear, we wait for the racing to decide that though, Ivor. And obviously a lot of work been going on with this outfit that you converted from Australian Speedway to UK Grasstrack. A lot of work been done.
Well, not quite converted. This is a brand new one. It's not the Speedway bike. Still got that in the garage at home. This one was flown out about 3 weeks ago, but yeah, a lot of work still, because obviously it comes out as a bare frame. So it arrived on the Wednesday and we raced it on the Sunday, so that put a lot of work in over the few days.
A lot of work indeed. And I've obviously got to have a quick word with Pete over there, because Pete, anything significantly different to riding this outfit to what we would say is a traditional grass outfit?
No, it's very similar to the Speedway bike, except it's smoother if there's no bumps. But it's quite soon. I haven't ridden a grass bike for a long time, but it's a lot safer with suspension on than without when you get to a rough track, so a lot better.
A lot better. So obviously we can look forward to some excellent racing from this crew, and I thought I've got to bring in the local man really, because Miles, you're the man from the local area. The track looks superb.
Yeah, I think Cornwall Solo, they've done a really good job. They've been watering since Wednesday and everybody's done a lot of work on it, so if he rides as well as it looks, it should be good.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, it should be good. Now, we are one of the top pairings that I think we've got in the sidecar class, but the competition is going to be tough this afternoon, and indeed we look to see what happens in the racing. Well, as I mentioned in the introduction, there really are so many pairs that have come together that made this a very interesting competition. But certainly looking at the 500cc solo class, on current performance, I think a good pairing has got to be Steve Bishop and Andy Sell. Steve, obviously things going fairly well at the moment.
Yes, very well for me really. I qualified for the long track final and the European final, and a little bit of luck here and there, and
just lucky, innit? They always say a little bit of luck is involved, don't they? Well, that's the truth behind any winning champion, you see, a little bit of luck. Well, that's it, yeah, make your luck, I think is the thing to say. And of course, if we're talking about things like luck, Andy, what I've got to ask is, no serious damage from last week's tumble at the qualifier?
Just to my pride really, and a few bits and pieces of the bike. I'm down to the last few bits of spares now, so I've taken some time off to make a new bike soon.
Well, obviously the interesting thing is, of course, that Andy's bike is so radically different from everybody else's, but in terms of riding ability, I think both of you must feel that they always get me midstream, don't they? Let's say. I think that, you know, I've got to say that on current form you must feel fairly confident about today.
Yeah, feeling quite confident. I feel I'm going alright. I don't know how Andy feels he's going on the track, but I felt okay.
And the track itself, Andy?
Well, it's green and it's got corners at each end.
I missed that.
It rides quite small. It looks quite big, but it actually rides quite small, so it's quite slick as well.
Highly technical comment as always. Well, all I can say is obviously a very strong pair. Wish you both the best of luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Mentioned 2 or 3 times that the competition is a little bit different today. Obviously it's not just a case of winning, it's where your partner is today. And I think there's going to be an awful lot of support for a local pair that's come together, and I'm pleased to see that Gary Lobb and Dean Garton have teamed up together. Both of you in good form at the moment. And obviously what I've got to ask you is, having been out for practice, what's the circuit riding like, Gary?
Circuit's riding very good at the moment. It's getting a bit ripply on the top turn. There's not that much gripper yet, but hopefully should get some grip as the day go on.
And obviously being in your part of the world, shall we say, obviously you're used to these sort of conditions.
Yeah, if anything, we're used to it a bit more softer and it cuts up, but yeah, and it's home crowd, hopefully it'll go quite good today.
And obviously I think there's going to be perhaps a little bit of pressure as well with the fact that it's a home crowd. But Dean, obviously I've seen you have some excellent rides, and I understand that you've now moved out of Cornwall.
Yeah, I'm living in Sussex at the moment, so this is an away meeting, but you know, they know me down here, so I think it will help, yeah. And it's a beautiful track. I think it's the best track we've had all year.
Well, that's good to hear. Obviously I don't get down this way too often, and obviously looking at practice I think we are going to see some fast racing. But how much do you think there's going to be the consideration for looking for your partner?
Well, I don't think it'll matter that much. You just sort of ride as a team in speedway sort of thing, you know. If he's there, you know, obviously don't try and overtake him and ride as a team. You know, blocking and all that sort of thing. That's the idea of it anyway.
Well, that's the theory. Obviously we'll be looking to see how it goes. Thanks ever so much, lads, for obviously having a word with us. And as I say, I think there's going to be a lot of support for you, so wish you the very best of luck. Thanks a lot. That's now being perhaps built for grass track racing. Talking to a lot of them, they convert them slightly from the original sort of motocross design to make the suspension a lot harder, to give them the drive coming out of the bends. And as we get underway, we start with the first race of the afternoon, and it is quad number 1, Andy Bassam, that leads going into that first bend. Well, Andy, a very, very experienced quad rider, and all sorts of nasty moments in that first bend for our second and third place men. That while they put trouble on that first bend, Andy Bassam gets the advantage and disappears down that back straight to open up quite a lead on that second place rider at the moment. As they come past me then for the second time, Andy Bassam still leading. Number 6 is Sean Edwards up in second place, but Francis Marriott, the rider in third at the moment, is the one that looks to be causing the most trouble, as he's trying to go wide around the outside of Sean Edwards. As he goes down that back straight, looks as if he's going to achieve it and gets himself up in the second place. And now the challenge is whether he can catch Andy Bassam. Oh, that's certainly a tall order, as Andy was given that advantage on that first lap. Looks over his shoulder casually to see that now he's got Francis Marriott up in second place to him. Still Sean Edwards sitting there in third spot. But it's a question of whether that gap can be closed at the front. Andy Bassam away down that back straight. Just one more lap to complete as he comes around that bottom bend. There he sees the last lap flag, so Andy now knows that he's just got one more lap to complete to try and keep that advantage on Francis Marriott. The big 500cc machines proving to be the right thing to be used on a circuit like this afternoon. Although that gap has got closer, the victory is indeed for Andy Bassam. He takes the checkered flag in front of Francis Marriott in second place. Sean Edwards crosses the line looking down at his machine as he goes past us, but he does get that third spot. So a good start to the afternoon for the reigning Cornish champion, Andy Bassam.
Second, number 9. Third, number 6. Fourth, number 69. Fifth, number 4. Number order 1, 9, 6, 69, 4 in a time of 1:44.
We're back into the pits, and obviously the first of our solo competitors coming out for their first race this afternoon. It's race 2. We start with the 350s, their first leg ride. And of course the thing to watch for is whether we can get any of these riders actually team racing, protecting the circuit with their partner and obviously getting maximum points between them. Reigning holders of the 350 are Keith Potts and Neil Scopes. Those two in fact do go together again this afternoon, so they're defending the title. That's number 15 and 175, but strong competition from the other competitors on the start line. The pairing of Steve Daw and Dave Mears looks very promising on paper. Roger Lobb and Dave Wright. But I know that Keith Potts will be very determined to hang on to this pairs title. Away we go then with the first of the 350s this afternoon as they come up past me for the first time. Keith Potts certainly right up there, and problems for Dave Read. Well, it looks as if Dave Read has in fact pulled his cutout out on that start line. He's got his machinery going again, so we're going to see a very determined ride from Dave Mears. And would you believe his partner right up there amongst those front runners as they come round off that bottom bend for the first time, and leading the field is number 175, that's Keith Potts, and his partner Neil Scopes is right up there in second place. So a terrific start for the reigning champions as they indeed lead coming round off that top bend. Down the back straight to two of them together, and this is the sort of thing that gave them victory in previous years as Steve Daw has tried to go the long way round and get round the outside of both of them at the same time in that bottom bend. Terrific line from Steve Daw. He knows he's got his work cut out as at the back of the field his partner Dave Mears is now having to work extra hard to try and pick up some lost points. Neil Scopes is taking over the lead, but Steve Daw right up there in second place and challenging already as he comes into this bottom bend. Neil Scopes trying to hold it tight, looks as if he's just got the advantage, but Steve Daw working hard once again. Keith Potts is still up there in third place, so still the pairing is scoring better. Steve Daw, of course, partners right some way back down the field, but I don't think that's going to continue for the rest of the afternoon. So this is going to be a very interesting competition as we go into the checkered flag this time. It looks as if Steve Daw's got him. Steve Daw takes the win. Neil Scopes gets second. His partner, Keith Potts, gets third place. So a disappointing ride for the winner, Steve Daw. Is way down the field, but of course there is a very valid reason for that. Losing his cutout from the start line, very quickly managed to get that cutout back in again, but then had to work extra hard. You can see on the far side there the conversation going on between those two. Steve Daw wondering where his partner finished.
Result of race 2. First, number 110. Second, number 15. Third, number 175. Fourth, number 170. Fifth, number 173. Sixth, number 139. Seventh, number 38. Eighth, number 223. Ninth, number 34. 10th, number 717. 11th, number 444. Number order 110, 15, 175, 170, 173, 139, 38, 223, 34, 717, 444, and a time of 139.
The first leg. And quite a few changes to passengers, as I mentioned earlier. Pushing the outfit disappointingly back to the pits as we get underway with race number 1, and it is indeed a good start for outfit number 10, Tony Cook and passenger Colin Lewis. They get into that first bend, indeed leading but under pressure now as they come round that first bend. Ricky Neal up in third place at the moment, but Paul Miller is the one that's going to try and take the lead on this bottom bend. Turns in hard in the middle of the bend, tries to get a tight exit coming out, but still number 10 Tony Cook leads as they go up past us. Disappointing perhaps that Tony was partnered this afternoon by Norman Haynes. He can only sit on the sidelines and watch. Their partner was battling for the lead, but Paul Miller has taken over that lead now as he comes up past me. And if we look for Paul Miller's pair, that is outfit number 92 that we should be looking for. That's Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin. Oh, Richard Piggott and Lynn Collins back in fourth place. Neil in third place. Interesting situation developing quickly with these 500 chairs as Paul Miller looks as if he's going to hang on to that lead. Tony Cook in second with no partner out in the field. Oh, Ricky Neal in fact partner. At the moment. Prepared it is going to be a win first time out for outfit number 17. That's Paul Miller and passenger Lester Goodwin. Second over the line goes Tony Cook and Colin Lewis. And is it going to be his partner? Well, it looked to me like Richard Piggott just got it on the line for third place, but we're waiting for that official result. Because if that was the case, Paul Miller and Richard Piggott have scored extremely well that time.
Result of race 3. First, number 17. Second, number 10. Third, number 92. Fourth, number 11. Fifth, number 5. Number order 17, 10, 92, 11, 5 in a time of 1:45.
With the race 4 in your programme as they come up past me for the first time. He's looking over his shoulder very, very casually. Kevin Laird gets to the front as he goes into that first bend. Oh, terrific first bend indeed. It turns out to be as Mike Read slips through on the inside. So quickly looking at those pairings, Kevin Laird is partnered by Mike Read. Indeed, what looks to be a very strong pair at the moment as they're leading 1 and 2. Kevin Laird looking over his shoulder saying, come on Mike, stay with me as we go into that top bend. He wants to get a 1 and 2, that's for sure. Goes very, very wide. I'm sure that's to allow Mike to come through on the inside. Terrific bit of team riding from these two. We're hoping to pick up this afternoon. If these outfits can ride like this, it'll be absolutely brilliant racing. As they come down this bottom bend, you'll see again that Kevin Laird is taking a slightly wide line. That's making it very, very difficult for Jerry Squirrel to find a way through. Allows Mike to go up the inside of him. That's not a problem at all because, of course, those two are racing together. And it makes it very, very difficult for that third place crew to come through at all. Mike Read pulls away a little bit going down that back straight. And go after him. So watch to see whether Mike will go slightly wide. He indeed does so. Pulls that outfit hard. Allows the room on the inside for Kevin to come up underneath him. Well, you can see exactly what's happening. There's just no way through for Jerry Squirrel. There's no room on that race circuit whatsoever. And indeed, of course, they will know that Paul Miller and Richard Piggott scored well previous race. They've got a better, a first and a third that Paul Miller and Richard Piggott got, and if they stay as they are at the moment, they will do exactly that as they come round off that bottom bend. All sorts of problems for Jerry Squirrel in third, but Mike Read takes the win. His partner, Kevin Laird, gets second, and you can see thumbs in the air because they know exactly what that means. That puts them top after the first leg.
Results of race 4. First, number 57. Second, number 7. Third, number 34. Fourth, number 78. Number order 57, 7, 34, 78 in a time of 1:48.
And of course a tremendous lineup of 500 solos here this afternoon. And I've had a chance to quickly look back at last year's results and hadn't realised there was an interesting situation with the 500 sidecars that Kevin Laird and Dick Ormeroyd partnered Paul Miller and Bob Read last year. Well, of course, that partnership has split up and it could be a real head-to-head with those two crews. That one will be an interesting one as we watch the day go on. Winners of the 500 solo last year were Paul Hurry and Jeremy Doncaster, neither of whom are here this afternoon. So we are going to have a new name on the total for 1995, and some very, very strong pairs indeed. As they go into that first bend, it's Steve Bishop that's got to the front now. He's partnered with Andy Sell. We'll look for Andy Sell, who's a long way back at the moment. Having a terrific fast track year this year. As he said to me this morning, he's so pleased that he's managed to have that little bit of luck and qualify for the European Fast Track as well as the World Long Track Series. And he really is going well. You can see exactly why, as he leads now quite who was riding extremely well last week at the British Masters, but looks to be struggling a bit at the moment. Steve Daw, who's in second place at the moment, is partnered by number 263, Graeme Gordon. And look where Graeme is at the moment. He's leading that one. So Graeme will partner Steve Daw. Third place at the moment. Terrific ride though this from Steve Bishop as he leads going past me into the last lap. Well, Steve Daw is not a rider that you'll notice that will give up easily. He will keep going right to the checkered flag. He must be to try and catch Steve Bishop. He really has. He comes into this last bend. It's going to be a checkered flag for him. Terrific ride and a terrific win for Steve Bishop. Steve Daw comes round to collect second place. Well, now we've got to start looking for the partners, and this is the most important one. Number 263, Graeme Gordon. Now followed home by number 17 and number 17 Marcus Bisson is picking up good points. He'll know that of course what is important is where his partner actually moved on and finished.
First number 34, second number 110, third number 263, fourth number 17, fifth number 179, sixth number 2, seventh number 37, eighth number 3, ninth number 50, 10th number 75, 11th number 32, number order 34, 110, 263, 17, 179, number 2, 37, number 3, 50, 75, 32, and a time of 1:28.
As they get away again, we look to see who it is that's coming past me. Leading, it's Kevin Buck that's got the lead as he goes by me. Mike Dowling right up there in second place as they go into that first bend. There's Kevin Vicknick on the inside, but as they get sorted out coming around that first bend. Mike Dowling still there in second place. Paul Fudge up in third now. As Kevin Vicknick's got to try and battle with him as he gets very, very close to that second, third and fourth place. Oh, certainly Kevin Buck getting away. Number 6 is Mark Chesil that's trying to work his way through. He's in fourth place at the moment, Mark Chesil, but he'll be certainly determined to straight. It is indeed Kevin Buck that still leads from Mike Dowling in second, Paul Fudge in third. It's Mark Chesil that's putting the pressure on from that fourth place, and Kevin Buck goes extremely wide and catches. Well, terrific riding from Mark Timmer there. Those of you close to this will see that Mark saw the problem that he made to avoid colliding with Kevin Buck. The red flag certainly up in the interest of safety. And the race, of course, being stopped in the interest of those riders' safety. With the restart of race 6 as they come up past us. Indeed, it is a much better start for number 49. That's Paul Fudge, who's got himself to the front going into that first bend. Dave Wright right up there as well. So anxiously we look for Mike Dowling. And I can see there's problems for Mike at the back of the field. So after that terrific start in the race before it was stopped, Mike Dowling has hit problems second time out. And as Dave Wright is having a much, much better ride this time, that's disappointment for him. Mark Chesil, of course, is right up there in second place, but unfortunately he was partnered with Kevin Buck. So as much as he will be determined to go for a race win, it's going to be very difficult for him to win the competition overall with his partner not scoring Full Fudge still sitting there challenging for that lead. He's on the inside. It's Mark Chesel on the outside as they go around that first bend and down the back straight. Full Fudge just taking the lead from Mark Chesel. Well, Mark comes back at him again as he goes in on the entrance to this bottom bend. Tries to pull it in hard in the centre of the bend. Off-ball drift wide with Mark as well as Dave Wright still sitting there in third place. Mark Dimmer holding fourth place just from rider number 40. And as we look to that far side, well, indeed Mark Chesel is going to take the win as they come around towards the checkered flag. Mark Chesel indeed gets the victory. Full Fudge gets second, Dave Wright in third. Mark Dimmer coming across the line in fourth place.
First, number 6. Second, number 49. Third, number 38. Fourth, number 33. Fifth, number 40. Sixth, number 109. Seventh, number 23. Eighth, number 116. Ninth, number 91. 10th, number 79. Number order 6, 49, 38, 33, 40, 109, 23, 116, 91, 79, and a time of 1:32.
So we look to race 7. We stay with the 500cc solos and a chance to see in action for the first time the local pairing of Gary Lobb and Dean Garton. I should quickly correct myself, shouldn't I, and say that Dean revealed to me that he's actually moved out of Cornwall now and moved up to Sussex. So still feels he's well known by a lot of you down here, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of support for that pairing. We see them for the first time out this time. Number 22, Darren Matthews, is partnered by Matthew Tyrrell. I've seen both of those have some excellent rides so far this season, so that could also be a very strong pair. One for sale, but at the moment we've got him out on that start line, and as they get underway, looking to see who's made the best of the starts. It is Dave Perry in the middle of the field that's made a good start. Oh, Gary Lobb is right up there as well in second place as they go into that first bend, and Gary goes for the lead already as he comes round the exit of that first bend. Gary gets himself to the front as he goes down that back straight. Dave Perry still right up there in second place and close to the back wheel of Gary Lobb. Disappointing at the moment to see Dean Garton a long way down the field, but I'm sure he'll put things to rights. And indeed, again, we've lost the rider in front of us here in the race again. I'm sure we'll be stopped in the interest of safety. That red flag being shown to the riders on the bottom of the circuit. So away we go once again. Again, a very clean start. It's very even, a much, much better start for Dean Garton this time. So Dean Garton gets himself to the front. We'll be looking for Gary, his partner, I'm sure, but obviously whatever the problem was in his first start, he's corrected it this time and gets himself to the front. Dave Perry right up there once again as he was before the race was stopped. And indeed Dave Perry holding second place at the moment. Dean Garton though still leading. And looking for Gary Lobb. He's back in fourth place at the moment. So the pairing of Dean Garton and Gary Lobb looking to score well from their first line. Number 419 is partnered with Jason Preen though, and Jason Preen is holding third place at the moment, so that's good scoring from those two as well. Oh, indeed, Dave Perry going extremely wide and just clipping a post in front of us. But he looks as if he's managed to hang on to it and maintains that second place. Jason Preen is partnered third place at the moment. Gary Lobb still holding fourth. His partner Dean Garton out in front though. Going well as he comes past us into the last lap. Again Dave Perry goes very, very wide. Jason Preen still there in third spot. Gary Lobb trying everything he possibly can to get past Jason Preen. Back straight with just one more corner to go, and it all starts to close up for that second and third. Gary Lobb looks to go through on the inside. It's going to be a win for Dean Garton as they come past us. Dave Perry hangs on to that second, and Jason Preen does hang on to that third place. Well, some nasty moments for Dave Perry, but he hung on to his machinery well, and indeed ends up with an excellent result of second place.
First, number 16. Second, number 419. Third, number 25. Fourth, number 7. Fifth, number 223. Sixth, number 123. 7th, number 47, 8th, number 88, 9th, number 471, 10th, number 4, number order 16, 419, 25, number 7, 223, 123, 47, 88, 471, number 4, and a time of 1:31.
So as we move on to race 8, we're back with the quads, and remind you that it was Andy Bassam that had a win first time out. We'll watch to see what happens this time as they come past me, and it is I was going to say Alfred then, but of course quad number 9, Francis Marriott, that gets to the front going into that first bend. Andy Bassam was right up there in second place, and he's lost out now as they go down that back straight. Now looking to see them come around this bottom bend for the first time. Francis Marriott still at the front, Andy Bassam going very wide. There's Scott Francis on the inside, who's got that second place. And as they start to get close again in that top bend, Scott having a look for the lead though. He wants to get past Francis if he could. So as he watches them come around this bottom bend, indeed the three of them almost together as they come past me. Oh, Sean it is that's got through on the inside in front of Francis Marriott, as he's gone a little bit wide past me. He's left that gap on the inside. Andy Bassam trying to get through as well, as he's seen that gap appear. Gets much, much closer. But to remind you of the results in that first ride, Andy Bassam had the win of course, but perhaps more interestingly, and how it's going to upset the points now, is that Sean Edwards had a third place and going for a win this time. Francis Marriott had a second place first time out, so he looks like doing the same thing as they go down the back straight. Look over his shoulder from Sean there, as he knows that he should be getting a challenge in this bottom bend. Again, he tries to hold it very, very tight. Looks to the checker flag this time. He's going to take the win. Francis Marriott gets second place. Andy Bassam finishing in third. So that's certainly going to put those three back on level points from, of course, just the two rides.
Results of race 8. First, number 6. Second, number 9. Third, number 1. Fourth, number 69. Fifth, number 4. Number order 6, 9, 1, 69 and 4, and a time of 1:39.
Move on to race 9, look across that far side, and we start with the 1000cc right-hand sidecars. First outing. And indeed, as we go into that first bend, some very interesting pairs. Of course, they're using the tighter bend on that top half of the field. It's Mark Edwards and Nick Waters that have got to the front. Oh, they're partnered with John Hiscock and Matt Sleep, who are up in second place at the moment, but that changes as John Halsey comes through on the inside. John Halsey and Jason Glennie then up into second place. They're partnered with Dave Steer and Andy Orchard, who's now got through into third place. So if my arithmetic works correctly, these two pairs will end up on the same points as if they stay as they are, but John Hiscock wants to change things. Comes through on the inside from that top bend to get up into third spot. So Mark Edwards and Nick Waters getting away a little bit as they go up that back straight. John Halsey and Jason Glennie desperately trying to close them down, but John Hiscock losing those front two a little bit. He's holding on to third and has got his own little battle with Dave Steer, who goes completely sideways. Manages to hang on to the outfit though. Still desperately trying to get past John Hiscock. Oh, it'll be the checkered flag this time for them, the first time out this afternoon for these crews, and it is Mark Edwards and Nick Waters who are having such a good run at the moment. Lead as they come round to take the checkered flag. First time out for them, they're going to take a race victory. John Halsey gets second, and this third place that's been battled for is eventually taken by Dave Steer and Andy Orchard.
First, number 8. Second, number 13. Third, number 17. Fourth, number 184. Number order 8, 13, 17, 184, and a time of 1:22.
Great there at the moment, but as you can see, we've only got 4 outfits. We were expecting to see all 6 going in this one. Well, the last two pairs do come into line as we now see them come under starters' orders, and away they go. It looks to be a good start for Craig Cheatham on the inside. Ian McCauley had made a terrific start as well, and there's all sorts of problems going into that first bend as Craig Cheatham got very, very close to Ian McCauley. Oh, Steve Smith it is who's come out of that corner best though as they come past us. Craig Cheatham it is up in second place, the partner of Steve Smith and Keith Wall. So Steve Smith and Keith Wall, outfit number 2 it is that lead as they go into that top bend. Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds on number 11 this afternoon, which we're used to seeing them on number 1. Ian and Rick McCauley in third place at the moment. And as they go into the dust cloud again into this bottom corner, Steve Smith making this look a little bit easy, trying to encourage his partner to come up with him. Oh, this is going to put them in a very, very strong position after this first ride. Roy Spreadbury trying to work his way through, Adrian Davis doing the same as well. They're both trying to get past Ian McCauley, who's in that third spot. Oh, Sage and Vince Davis go through into that third place. Roy Spreadbury has seen a gap as well as Ian McCauley has gone very, very wide. So that's really where the racing is, as Steve Smith has allowed Craig Cheatham to go in front as they come down past us, and it's going to be a checkered flag for Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds. Steve Smith and Keith Wall get the important second place. Sage and Vince Davis get the third place, and as you can see, all sorts of problems on the line for Ian McCauley, as Roy Spreadbury and Steve Kenjinan, I think, picked up that fourth place.
First, number 11. Second, number 2. Third, number 26. Fourth, number 43. Fifth, number 50. Sixth, number 69. Number order 11, 2, 26, 43, 50, 69, and a time of 1:25.
In fact, Pete deciding that he's not going to join the start line as they indeed get 4 outfits underway, and it's a terrific start from Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons. Well, they really are in excellent form at the moment, sitting second overall in the British Masters Championship, and indeed going very, very well. Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones getting up exactly where they want to be, up into second place, and that indeed is the partnership of the 2 crews that you see leading 1 and 2. Dave French up in third place at the moment, partnered with Brett Osborne, who's back in 4th spot. Third and 4th place for that partnership. But at the moment, going extremely well is Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons. Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones still there in second place, so this is going to be maximum points for these 2 crews. And I'm sure now that they've got away from Dave French that they will be just trying to find the fastest lines around both ends. Phil Pitman in very determined mood at the moment, leaving very big gaps, allowing Ivor Matthews to perhaps come up alongside him. I'm sure that Phil will be thinking that Ivor prefers to ride the tighter lines and hug the inside flags, so if he stays on the outside it gives Ivor plenty of room to try and find some quick lines around both bends. There'll be the checkered flag for them this time as they come round, and indeed as they come to the line it is going to be a win for outfit number 90, Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons. Number 15, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones finishing second, with the other 2 crews, Dave French and Brett Osborne, 3rd and 4th.
First, number 90. Second, number 15. Third, number 99. Fourth, number 73. Number order 90, 15, 99, 73, at a time of 1:24.
We've got Craig Cheatham and Steve Smith on 12 points, also Ivor Matthews and Phil Pitman on 12 points, and just close to the Mark Edwards and John Hiscock on 10. This the last heat of the first leg rides. No Phil Pitman, of course, in this one. Partnership now, Chris Spires and Richard Thomas. They get underway, watching that one with interest as they go into that first bend, because Chris Spires hasn't actually driven an outfit for about 3 years, he told me this morning, and he's right up there with his partner in second place at the moment. Well, it was number 46, Colin Hicks, that had got away. indeed, he's now dropped back to third place. Kevin Stevens, his partner, now coming up into that third place. But Richard Thomas staying out in front at the moment. Got the lead from his partner, Chris Myers, in second. Oh, Colin Hicks trying to come through on the inside. Kevin Stevens has tried the wide line to get round the outside. So both those pairs desperately trying to get up into second and third place. Colin Hicks moves through into second. Chris Myers and Eddie Elvis now back in third. Have got Kevin Stevens to contend with now as they come round that top bend. Oh, it was a good corner from Colin Hicks. He's forced Chris Myers to go wide, and it means that Kevin Stevens has moved through into third place. And Richard Thomas still hanging on to that lead though, not being threatened yet by Colin Hicks, although Colin is starting to get closer and closer to him. It's just this bend to negotiate as they come round. Again, Richard Thomas goes slightly wide, but he takes the win. Colin Hicks gets second place, Kevin Stevens in third, and Chris Myers and Eddie Elvis finishing in fourth.
First, number 60. Second, number 46. Third, number 1. Fourth, number 52. Number order 60, 46, 1, 52, and a time of 1:25.
The quad riders back out of the pits, so we'll continue with racing with the quads, and obviously it's race 13 in your programme. Now, an interesting situation has developed with the quad racing, because if you've been doing the points, I know there's no need to, because obviously we've got people here doing it, but it means that Andy Bassam, riding number 1, is on 6 points at the moment. Sean Edwards is on 6 points. And Francis Marriott is on 6 points. So a very, very tight competition between these three. And as these three come round that bottom corner together, they're going to make it interesting all day long, I think, because Sean has gone through on the inside at the moment. He's got the lead from Francis Marriott in second. Andy Bassam is in third at the moment. So this is where the points start to get sorted out, perhaps. Leading from Francis in second place. They close up again coming into this bottom corner. Of course, the track changed slightly, but doesn't seem to have affected the quad boys at all. Sean anxiously looks down at his machinery. He knows there's probably a battle going on behind him between Andy and Francis, but at the moment Francis Marriott's got the best of that for that second place. Just as I say that, he kicks wide though, and Andy gets a bit closer to him again. Well, now the gap has started to open up between first and second place. Sean Edwards starting to stamp his authority, perhaps, he knows, and there's problems for Andy Bassam as he pulls out on the far side. He's hit problems. It means that Francis Marriott now has got himself comfortably in that second place. It does look as if Andy has got severe problems. Well, the checkered flag being made ready, as indeed Sean Edwards comes round off that bottom corner. He takes his second win of the afternoon and moves himself ahead on points. Francis Marriott again gets the second place. And number 69 is Robert Barnard, who we understand, although on a 250cc machine, is perhaps riding for the first time on grass track.
Number 6, second, number 9, third, number 69, fourth, number 4, number order 6, 9, 69, 4. And a time of 1:48.
Right at the top, the defending champions Neil Scopes and Keith Potts. They're on 22 points at the moment. Steve Daw and Dave Mears on 21 points, just 1 point behind them. Mark Taylor and Neil Taylor on 17 points. They sit in third place at the moment. Chris Burnett and Mike Bowden on 9 points. So, really all eyes on that top 4, I would say. That it's Neil Scopes and Keith Potts we've got to keep an eye on. Neil rides number 15. Keith Potts number 175, Steve Daw 110 and Dave Mears 139. I'm sure Dave will be hoping for a much better ride. He pulled his engine cutout off when he left the start first time out. So hopefully no problems like that this time as they get underway and the 350s come charging up the hill. It is Dave Mears that's made the best of the starts. I can see Keith Potts moving through. Neil Scopes is in there as well. Well, it is Keith Potts who's got to second place as they come around that first bend. Second place. So Steve Daw and Dave Mears together at the front, and you'll see exactly what they'll try and do. Steve Daw loves to ride a wide line. He's gone very, very wide, and as he's just watching his partner Dave Mears holds those. Working hard in that third place, trying to go around the outside, and again we've lost a rider on this bottom bend. But at the moment everything going the way of Dave Mears and Steve Daw. They lead 1 and 2. The closest partnership to them was the Cc Sidecar. They are holding 3rd and 4th place at the moment. The competition is by no means over yet. Very, very tight on points after this second ride. With just one more lap to go. Down, seeing how fast he can go down. He doesn't realise that he's got Steve Daw that close to him. He just wants to prove that he can ride as quickly as Steve did in that first one. So a good win for Dave Mears as he's watching tonight. Steve Daw is just keeping this on him, very, very wide. Third and Nils goes to the fourth.
Number 139, second number 110, third number 175, fourth number 15, fifth number 38, sixth number 173, seventh number 223, eighth number 444, ninth number 717, 10th number 34, 11th number 170, number order 139, 110, 175, 15, 38, 173, 223, 444, 717, 34, 170, and a time of 1:39.
Paul Miller and Richard Piggott on 11 points at the moment. Jerry Squirrel and Lionel Cox on 7 points, they're the closest to them, and as I'm sure all of you have noticed, we've only got 3 outfits going in this one. Kevin Laird and Mike Read together. Of course, Tony Cook has come out in this one, which is a change to the programme. But obviously it meant that 2 outfits were racing against each other, or 2 pairs were racing against each other all the time. So the only 3 that we see appear in this one is the partnership of Kevin Laird and Andy Robertson, partnered by Mike Read and Duncan Patton in 2nd place. So they will be looking... Can't be. Duncan Bradford, I meant to say. You know, that's it, that's the one mistake of the day made, so let's got that out of the way. Well, indeed, Tony Cook trying everything he possibly can to keep on terms with those front 2, but it looks as if they're going to pick up points from their second ride. Oh, Kevin Laird looking in very good form this afternoon. Comes round off that bottom bend up towards the last lap flag this time, so he knows he's got 1 more lap to go. Casual look over his shoulder, knows that it's Mike Read in 2nd place to him. And there's all sorts of problems for Tony Cook, as he in fact goes past after the bike going into all sorts of problems. As the checkered flag goes, it's going to be maximum points for the partnership of Kevin Laird and Andy Robertson and Mike Read and Duncan Bradford.
Result of race 15, first number 7, second number 57, third number 10, number order 7, 57, 10, and a time of 1:45.
16, and obviously a full complement of 500 outfits out this time. And of course the big question is whether Paul Miller and Richard Piggott can get first and second. Paul Miller it is, has got to the front as they go round that first bend. Lionel Cox at the moment is up in second place. A tremendous ride from Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin as they go around that bottom bend. Lionel Cox has pulled out by the look of it on that bottom bend. He's obviously hit problems. Jerry Squirrel is now the rider in third place, partnered with Dave Collin, who's back in fourth place. Well, Lionel Cox's engine seems to come to make up, and indeed this is exactly the ride that Paul Miller and Richard Piggott needed. They know they needed to get 1 and 2. I think a little bit of pressure perhaps on Richard Piggott, but he's come good. Paul Miller, I'm sure, will have a look over his shoulder in a few moments to see where his partner is. Almost a head down, just get the win sort of attitude by the look of it at the moment, but as they go down the back straight, they look very much in control. Lionel Cox and Graeme Gordon at the back of the field, a very strong 500cc competitor. As we go into the last lap, no problems for Paul Miller at the moment. Oh, these guys conscious that they've got their British I'm sure a lot of them will be using this as a final tryout for that championship. And you see the checker flag now being made ready for Paul Miller. He gets the win that he desperately wanted. Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin getting that second place, and that's the important one.
Results of race 16. First, number 17. Second, number 92. Third, number 34. Fourth, number 11. Fifth, number 5. Sixth, number 78. Number order 17, 92, 34, 11, 5, 78, and a time of 1:43.
Of course, riding the 500 sidecars. As for the moment, we turn our attention to the 500cc solo class. Leading this at the moment is Gary Lobb and Dean Garton on 23 points, Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon on 22, Jason Preen and Dave Perry on 22. And indeed, as we get underway, we look to see who's made the best of the starts. Indeed, it is Dave Perry that's got to the front. Mark Dimmer goes after him. Indeed, those two together as they go round that first bend. Problems for Andy Sell there as he's missed the start. All sorts of problems, and quickly looked at my programme. Of course, if Andy Sell is out there, then we should have seen Steve Bishop as well, and I can't see on the start line, or perhaps is that Steve that's not started. Well, disappointing as Andy Sell has put the bike down as well. So things not going right for that pair as Dave Perry is leading with Jason Preen at the moment. They're on 22 points overall, so this is going to be an excellent result for this pair if they stay where they are. By Bishop has only just appeared from the pits and is right at the back of the field. Well, he's going to prove that he still knows how to ride this circuit. Perhaps there's a bit of a practice for later on. To the last lap we go then as Dave Perry is leading with his partner Jason Preen in second place, Mark Dimmer up in third at the moment. That flies, we struggle to see all the riders as we've got two down on this bottom corner. And I can see that there is a red flag out in the interest of safety.
The results of race 17 are first, number 419, second, number 25, third, number 33, fourth, number 23, fifth, number 32, and sixth, number 79. So number order 419, 25, 33, 23, 32, 79, and I'm afraid I can't give a time because there was a bit of confusion on that one.
So excellent point scoring there in race 17 for Jason Breen and Dave Perry. They've certainly made themselves very strong in this competition as we move to race 18. And as we get underway, it is Graeme Gordon that's got to the front. Oh, Graeme Gordon leads going into that first bend. And he, of course, looks for his partner who indeed gone round the outside. Steve Daw is on 22 points as well. Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon, the partnership is. Paul Fudge is in second place at the moment, but he's gone very wide, and it means that Graeme Gordon has come through. So this pairing looking to do exactly the same as Dave Perry and Jason Breen, get maximum points from their second ride. Second place. And Steve Daw really does look to be in terrific form this afternoon. He's a very, very entertaining rider. And I've just realised why I was struggling to recognise him earlier. Actually, I think he's changed his leathers without telling me. Paul Fudge still trying to stay on terms with Graeme Gordon, but he's not breaking that distance down. One more lap to go for this leading pair. Paul Fudge still there in third place. It's Roger Lobb in fourth place, number 37. Oh, that's going to be maximum points for this pair once again. Steve Daw getting the win, Graeme Gordon getting second place. Paul Fudge hangs on to that third and Roger Lobb finishing in fourth. So right at the top of the competition, that is going to put the pressure on Gary Lobb and Dean Garton.
Number 110, second number 263, third number 49, fourth number 37, fifth number 223, sixth number 3, seventh number 109, eighth number 91, ninth number 40, 10th number 123, 11th number 471, number order 110, 263, 49, 37, 223, 3, 109, 91, 40, 123, 471 and a time of 1:38.
Very 500cc solos. Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon scoring maximum points, as did Jason Breen and Dave Perry. Now they were both on 22 points before they came into that second ride. And Gary Lobb and Dean Garton were just 1 point ahead of them. They'd scored maximum points from their, well, not maximum points I should say, but Dean Garton obviously had a win first time out. That put them on 23 points. As we get underway, we watch to see whether it will be those two that make the best of this one as they come past us. Andy Parker and Simon Giddings out there in front. So the partnership that didn't score first time, out in front this time. Tired from his first race with engine problems, but he's out in front at the moment. And we're looking for the Cornwall pair, and indeed we've lost one rider on that bottom corner. Gary Lobb has just moved up into second place, so looking for Dean Garton. He's a lot further back down the field, but Gary Lobb going after Andy Parker. Tries to go down that back straight, and we're looking to see whether they're going to stop the race. The clerk of the course putting the red flag out in the interest of safety. Obviously a fallen rider on this bottom bend. Oh, what a terrific ride from Gary Lobb there, putting pressure on Andy Parker. Plus the Kent left-handers. Well, have you seen the flying display we've got going on above us as well? Somebody just pointed it out to me. Somebody's going to get highly technical with me in a minute and tell me what they are, aren't they? So, back to the Grasstrack racing that we're with this afternoon, and of course it is race 19 that's been restarted and underway, and it is Dean Garton again that's made this terrific start. Well, whatever it is, it's seems to work, but Dean Garton doesn't like his first start and always seems to be at the back of the field, and now he's done exactly the same thing again and got himself up at the front. Well, look for his partner, he's Gary Lobb and his partner, he's back in third place at the moment, just Andy Parker parking those two. As indeed Gary Lobb looks for an inside line. This could be an excellent result for these two if Gary Lobb can get past Andy Parker. Oh, that's really where the eyes are at the moment, because Andy Parker looks comfortable in that second. All the way. He's all the way for those two and looks comfortable for the win. So really it's all about points for this second place, because Andy Parker looks determined to hang on to it. But Gary Lobb again tries that inside line and looks as if he's got him this time. As they come past us to go into the last lap, it's Gary Lobb up in second place. Andy Parker comes back at him again though, sees a gap on the inside. But Lobb indeed holds that second place. As they go down that back straight, they open this one up, but Dean Garton has got those very important maximum points as he crosses the line. He'll be pleased to look over his shoulder and see that Gary Lobb has followed him home in second. Andy Parker in third, Simon Giddings crosses the line in fourth. Oh, a tremendous ride for Dean Garton and Gary Lobb. That indeed keeps them top of the points chart.
First, number 16. Second, number 7. Third, number 230. Fourth, number 179. Fifth, number 17. Sixth, number 47. Seventh, number 88. Eighth, number 22. Ninth, number 4. Number order 16, 7, 230, 179, 17, 47, 88, 22, 4, and a time of 1:36.
4 quads on the line, but no reason why this still couldn't be an interesting competition, because Francis Marriott is on 9 points at the moment. Sean Edwards is on 10 points overall, and it's Francis has got to the front as they go into that first bend. All sorts of problems on that first bend, as you can see. Looking to see whether there is indeed a red flag. The clerk of course deciding yes, only Francis continuing down that back straight. A very interesting situation that we've got Gary Lobb and Dean Garton on 49 points. Dave Perry and Jason Preen on 48 points. Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon on 48 points. Now those three pairs have more or less pulled themselves away from the rest of the field. Mike Trevitt and Mark Dimmer on 34, Paul Fudge and Craig Daniels equal on 34 points. And then it's Krista Marsh and Roger Lobb on 27, Simon Giddings and Annie Parker on 27. But really the scrap for that third leg is going to be between those top three pairs. But I suppose I shouldn't really sort of preempt anything, because of course the start is 3 p.m, that's at the Pool Stadium. We get underway though here today with the restart of the fourth leg of the quads, and it is Francis Marriott that's got to the front as they go into that first bend. Oh, Sean Edwards in second place at the moment. Sean is just leading on points, just with a 1 point advantage. He's on 10 points overall, with a third place and 2 wins, and looks to be going for another win perhaps as he turns in tight on the inside of Francis Marriott, and those two almost together as they go past me and into this top bend. Sean most certainly has got the better line going into that top bend though, as Francis has been forced to go in wide. And as they go down the back straight now, you see that Francis has just got to watch to see where Sean will go. He'll try and drive in hard and try and pull it back in tight on the exit of the bend, but this time Sean has ridden yet again an excellent line. Well, the 250s at the back of the field still keeping up with those big 500s, but as they go down the back straight, the gaps have certainly started to open now as Sean head down, goes down that back straight, moves himself forward, drops it down to the gearbox and comes powering around this bottom bend. Into the last lap this time. He worries me when he keeps looking down at his machinery, I must admit, but it still does seem to keep going. Francis Marriott, who's been in second place 3 times already this afternoon, sitting again in that second spot. Half a lap to complete for Sean to complete his third victory this afternoon. He's perhaps starting to stamp his authority on this event. Drives it in hard, goes towards the checker flag and does take his third win. Francis Marriott still with another second place.
of race 20. First, number 6. Second, number 9. Third, number 69. Fourth, number 4. Number order 6, 9, 69, 4, and a time of 1:44.
It's interesting competition. This one's turning out to be after the first ride. Craig Cheatham and Steve Smith on 12 points. Phil Pitman and Ivor Matthews on 12 points. And as we get underway with this one, I was going to say that John Halsey and Dave Steer on 9 points. They come out in this particular race. And as they come around off that first bend, it is those two that get to the front in front of Chris Tyrrell and Aaron Borlace. Into this bottom bend they go, and Dave Steer just with the lead from John Halsey, but they won't be trying to race each other. I'm sure John Halsey will just consider keeping out of the dust line of Dave Steer. Try as they will to actually find a better or faster line around both those bends. And John going wide to avoid that trail coming off the back wheel of Dave Steer. Turns inside it now, and just as I say that, he goes straight through the middle of it. They'll never do what I say they're going to do they? Oh, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard, traditionally we're so used to them hugging those flags on the inside, and again they do it on that top corner. Into the last lap, and looks to be a very comfortable win for Dave Steer and Andy Orchard at the moment. So maximum points to be picked up for this crew. And if I remind you of last year's results, as I say the meeting was shortened somewhat, but Dave Steer and Andy Orchard partnered John Halsey and Jason Glennie last year, and they actually finished second overall, that pair.
Result of race 21. First, number 17. Second, number 13. Third, number 69. Number order 17, 13, 69, and a time of 1:21.
Race 22, obviously we've seen maximum points scored by John Halsey and Dave Steer. That brings them back into contention. They were 3 points adrift of the leaders from that first ride. And remember, the change in this race is Ivor Matthews is partnered by Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons, and they are on maximum points from their first ride, that pairing, with them getting a first and a second as they get underway. We're so used to seeing Phil Pitman get those excellent starts, and he does exactly that. Ivor Matthews going with him up into second place, but as they go into that first bend, the lead is with Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons. Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones have done well to come through on the inside. It's that pair that have got away ahead of Adrian and Vince Davis. Chris Spires in fourth place at the moment as they disappear in the dust from us. We go up that back straight, and it starts to get close as Phil Pitman is letting Ivor Matthews know that they've got a challenge on, with Adrian Davis getting very, very close to them. So Ivor will be hugging those tight flags. He'll be wanting Phil to go wide, but that's not the way that Phil would want it, because that leaves a gap for Sage Davis to come through on the inside, and he does just that. As they go into that bottom bend, they start to sort themselves out on the exit of the bend. Well, Sage Davis and Vince Davis have got that second place. So Phil Pitman has now got the work to do to try and get back underneath Adrian Davis. As they come past us, there's just one more lap to do it. Well, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones are looking like comfortably taking the win, but the scrap at the moment is for that second place. Sage Davis goes wide and Phil Pitman sees a gap on the inside. Terrific ride from Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons as they go into this last corner, with Adrian Davis being forced to go very, very wide. Could they hang on to this second place as they come to the line? Phil Pitman crosses over and takes second place. So Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones take the win. Their partners, Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons, take the second. That's maximum points once again for those pair.
22. First, number 15. Second, number 90. Third, number 26. Fourth, number 60. Fifth, number 43. Sixth, number 52. Number order 15, 90, 26, 60, 43, 52, and a time of 1:21.
And indeed, we're already underway with race 23. They've already got themselves into that first corner. And indeed, the clerk of the course stopping the race. I think a full start deemed. So just the four outfits on the line. And away we go, and we're looking to see if Mark Edwards perhaps has missed the start. While John Hiscock has made an excellent start, goes up that back straight. got himself into second place because it's Colin Hicks that had gone away. Colin Hicks has gone very, very wide though on that first bend. John Hiscock comes through and takes the inside line, get himself in front. Now can Mark Edwards and Nick Walters improve on their position at the back of the field to get up and join their partner at the front? As I say, in one bend they take both those outfits and get themselves up into second. Terrific bend from Mark Edwards and Nick Walters as they come round this top bend now, looking to see their partner in front of them. They won't be disappointed about that at all. All they've got to concentrate on is getting plenty of dust between them and third place Kevin Stevens. Well, as they disappear into the dust, it is opening up as they got that back straight, because now it's Colin Hicks that's moved back into third place. So as John Hiscock knows he's now got his partner with him, he leaves a bit of a line on the inside. Those two outfits almost together as they went past me and into the last lap. So they're going to be keeping their noses right up there at the top of the point scoring chart. Thought we hit problems there for Mark Edwards, but he seems to have recovered from it. So John Hiscock has pulled away a bit and he's going to come round and take the race victory. But most importantly, his partner Mark Edwards is finishing in second.
Number 184, second number 8, third number 46, fourth number 1, or number order 184, 8, 46, 1 in a time of 1:22.
See Steve Smith, in actual fact I think that Keith Wall was standing by the pit entrance, so I don't know whether they've hit problems with their machinery, but Craig Cheetham is out there on his own at the moment. Well, in fact, I've just heard from the pits that in fact Steve Smith has got a blown engine, so disastrous news for Steve Smith. It means that Craig Cheetham will be scoring on his own, but of course that will be greeted with not perhaps the bad news for the other crews that are scoring well this afternoon. Oh, indeed, Craig Cheetham and Clive Reynolds doing everything they possibly can as their half of the partnership. Obviously very, very disappointed that they've had the news that Steve Smith has got those problems. Disappointing as it is, things not going well for Steve and Keith at the moment, and disappointing to see them dropping out of this meeting. But for the moment, we've got the lead with Craig Cheetham and Clive Reynolds. Dave French up in second place, Brett Osborne holding third place at the moment, as they already go into their last lap. Up the back straight for the last time in this heat. To come round off that top bend, it is going to be a race victory for outfit number 11. That's Craig Cheetham and Clive Reynolds. Dave French and Chris Carter take second place. Brett Osborne and Maurice Cooper finishing in third.
Number 11, second number 99, third number 73. Number order 11, 99, 73, a time of 1:22.
Obviously they've let the 350 riders out. Perhaps the quad boy's not quite ready, but as we turn our attention to the 350s, this of course just the straight race for the 350s. It's their third leg. The points at the moment are that Steve Daw and Dave Mears are on 47, Neil Scopes and Keith Potts are on 41. So as we watch them go past us for the first time, it's Dave Mears that's made the best of the starts. Well, as we look to see them break into that first corner, it is indeed Dave Mears that's got away. I can't pick him up. I'm sure he's going to be in that group of riders for fourth and fifth, and indeed he is fourth at the moment, going wide. It's Neil Scopes up in second. His partner Keith Potts fighting with Mark Taylor for that third place. But all eyes at the moment have got to be on Steve Daw. He's back in fifth place, and he knows that they're going well. Dave Mears up in front though, going well at the moment, and comes around off that bottom bend looking very, very controlled and comfortable. Neil Scopes going well in second place. Keith Potts desperately fighting for that third place. Mark Taylor determined to hang on to that third, and Keith Potts doing everything he possibly can. I think there must be problems for Steve Daw because he was quicker than it going on this afternoon. As they come past us, Dave Mears certainly doing his part of the bargain. Neil Scott's up in second. Mark Taylor is in third place at the moment, so he's won that battle. So as a pair, those two are going to score reasonably well with a second and a fourth. We'll see whether this will close the gap up on Dave Mears and Steve Daw. Dave Mears takes the win though. Neil Scott's in second, Mark Taylor in third, Keith Potts in fourth, and a very disappointed Steve Daw back in fifth place.
First, number 139, second, number 15, third, number 170, fourth, number 175, fifth, number 110, sixth, number 38, seventh, number 223, eighth, number 37, ninth, number 444, 10th, number 34, 11th, number 717, number order 139, 15, 170, 175, 110, 38, 223, 37, 444, 34, 717, and a time of 1:36.
On 12 points. Now Andy Bassam, of course, as we told you earlier, he's unfortunately blown the engine, so no more racing for him this afternoon. As indeed they get underway, and as they go past me, it is those two 500s that have got to the front as they go into that first bend. Sean Edwards has looked to have got the advantage as they come around that first bend. Francis Marriott in second place. So with just one more ride to go after this one, Sean Edwards trying to get a little bit of a lead on Francis Marriott with yet another win perhaps. Well, he's certainly making it look comfortable at the moment. Francis Marriott trying everything he possibly can to stay with Sean Edwards, but he looks to be going just that little bit quicker as they go down the back straight for the second time. Well, indeed, as we look to that third place, of course, number 69 is on a smaller 250 machine. That's Rob Barnard. Showing that perhaps even with 250 different, he can still put up a bit of a challenge. All around past us this time they come, and Sean Edwards goes into the last lap. Francis Marriott still there in second place. Oh, Rob Barnard still holding that third place, but he has certainly closed that gap between second and third. I think there is this 250cc difference. So the fifth leg of the quad racing then finishes with yet another win, his fourth of the afternoon for Sean Edwards. Looks over his shoulder, and as he expected to see, Francis Marriott finishes in second, with Rob Barnard finishing in third.
Result of race 25. First, number 6. Second, number 9. Third, number 69. Fourth, number 4. Number order 6, 9, 69, 4, and a time of 1:44.
One important thing to do in race 27. Mike Read and Kevin Laird partnered together on 24 points at the moment, leading this competition. They know that they've got to get yet another good result in this third ride. As they get underway, it looks as if Lionel Cox has made the best of the starts. Kevin Laird is on the inside, Mike Read has gone for the outside line as those three outfits go into that top bend together. Well, unfortunately, Mike Read is on the third spot. As Kevin Leide has moved through into the front though, he's taken the lead, and as 3 sidecars come together for that second place, it's going to be a fight for this second spot. As Mike Read has been forced to go very, very wide. Tony Cook is the rider on the inside, is trying to come through the inside of Lionel Cox as they together go into that top bend. Mike Read forced to go wide, quickly around the outside. Goes through on the inside as Mike Read goes around the outside of Lionel Cox. Oh, terrific ride from Mike Read as he now has got Tony Cook to contend with. And I think that Lionel Cox has hit problems again as he's slowed coming past us. Great shame to see Lionel having these mechanical problems this afternoon. Wants to go down that back straight. Kevin Leide has got away. They're on 24 points at the moment, Kevin Leide and Mike Read. So this result is going to be very important indeed because Paul Miller and Richard Piggott are on 23 points to go in race 28. So for the moment we would look to see whether Mike Read can consolidate maximum points in this race. To try and get that second spot from Tony Cook. Well, Colin Lewis looking over his shoulder, wondering if there's going to be a challenge on this last bend. Kevin Leide certainly takes the win, but Tony Cook hangs on to second place. Mike Read and Duncan Bradford take the third spot.
Result of race 27. First, number 7. Second, number 10. Third, number 57. Fourth, number 34. Fifth, number 78. Number order 7, 10, 57, 34, 78. A time of 1:41.
So race 28 it is that comes to the line. This of course still with the 500cc sidecars, and the points very, very close at the top of this competition. Paul Miller and Richard Piggott on 23 points coming into this ride. They'll have seen that Kevin Leide and Mike Read got a first and a third, so they'll obviously hoping to get the first and second from this one. And as they get underway, it is Paul Miller on the inside, and he's watching for his partner coming around on the outside. Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin go a long way round. They cut back across the racing line, and Paul Miller moves out this time. Terrific bit of riding. Well, they made no sure of getting this 1 and 2 by crossing over in the middle of the bend. Richard Piggott took the wide line in, cut back across, got the inside line. He now knows that he's got Paul Miller right there with him. And as they go up to this top bend, Ricky Neal has got no answer for those front two at the moment. Oh, Paul Miller just letting Ricky Neal get closer to him, and I'm sure you'll see him cut back under again. Down that back straight. Look for an inside line on this bottom bend. Much quicker into this bottom bend, you can see. Closes right up to the back wheel of Richard Piggott, making sure there's absolutely no room for anybody to come through. All instructions from Lester Goodwin as he tells Paul Miller where the outfit behind him is going to come from on the door. He'll make sure that he doesn't leave any gaps at all. Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin are up front. This is the result they wanted. With just one more lap to go from race 28. Richard Piggott and Lynn Collin still lead. Paul Miller and Lester Goodwin still there in second place. And as again the dust starts to fly, we watch it go down that back straight. So with this being the third leg, they've just got the final to go on. What a showdown it's going to be between these two and Kevin Laird and Mike Read. They take the checkered flag and they get maximum points from their third ride.
Result of race 28. First, number 92. Second, number 17. Third, number 11. Fourth, number 5. Number order 92, 17, 11, 5, and a time of 1:43.
Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon on 48 points. So away we go with this, the first of the third legs for the 500cc solo, and it's Steve Bishop that's got to the front. Well, this one is going to make it interesting because the one rider we'll be looking for is Jason Freed. Dave Perry, his partner, of course, they're right up there on the maximum points. So they'll be wanting to keep close to Steve Bishop. We know that Steve Bishop and Andy Sell have had all sorts of problems this afternoon, but that won't affect Steve Bishop going out and taking a race win. Dave Ferry up in second place. Fourth place at the moment, but Jason will be looking to try and get through to at least that third place. Oh, Steve Bishop, as I said earlier, in such terrific form at the moment. Already qualified for the World Long Track Final. He's in the European Grass Track Final as well. Oh, Simon Giddings doesn't want to let go with that third place as we watch Steve Bishop go by us. The battle is for that third spot because Dave Perry has got second, and as they go across the line it's going to be a second and a fourth place for the pairing of Dave Perry and Jason Preen.
First number 34, second number 419, third number 179, fourth number 25, fifth number 230, sixth number 88, seventh number 75, eighth number 4, number order 34, 419, 179, 25, 230, 88, 75, 4, and obviously the time won't be relevant because the racing's cut down.
Scorers Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon, Gary Lobb and Dean Garton will be going in race 31. So some valuable points can be picked up here perhaps by Mike Trevitt and Mark Dimmer. They're on 34 points overall. Paul Fudge and Craig Daniels, of course, have been scoring well as well. They're on 34 points. So as they get underway, we look to see who's made the best of the gates. And Kevin Vicknick has got to the front as they go into that first corner. Paul Fudge is up there with him. Mark Dimmer is in third place at the moment as they come around that top bend. Well, the leaders change. So Paul Fudge and Mark Dimmer together as they go into this second bend. Oh, Paul Fudge just with the lead, but he's being challenged for it as they come around this bottom bend for the first time. Mark Dimmer tight on the inside. Roger Lobb is up there now fighting for the lead, number 37. Oh, indeed, as they go around that top bend, you can see Roger Lobb. Oh, the two of them together as they come around this bottom bend. Roger Lobb forced to go on the wide line. Mark Dimmer stays on the inside. Paul Fudge is still there in third place. Kevin Vicknick up into fourth place. Darren Matthews holding fifth place at the moment. So a good ride this from Mark Dimmer being pushed all the way down that back straight. Mark slowly going into this bottom bend. Roger Lobb sees his opportunity and goes to the wide line. Will he switch lines and come back underneath? He does exactly that, and has he done enough? Mark Dimmer takes it. Roger Lobb in second. Paul Fudge in third.
Second, number 37, third, number 49, fourth, number 109, fifth, number 22, sixth, number 3, seventh, number 23, eighth, number 91, ninth, number 47, 10th, number 116, 11th, number 40, number order 33, 37, 49, 109, 22, number 3, 23, 91, 47, 116 and 40.
The points as they possibly can. And at the top of the list at the moment in the 500cc solos, we've got Gary Lobb and Dean Garton leading on 49 points. Dave Perry and Jason Preen, they were on 48 points, and we've already seen them go in race 29. They picked up a second and a fourth place there. Now in race 31, we've got Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon, who are on 48 points, and Gary Lobb and Dean Garton. There are no other top point scorers right up there with them, really. We've seen the rest of the riders go in races 29 and 30, so I think this could well be a straight scrap between these two pairs. He's partnered, of course, in the 500cc by Graeme Gordon as they get underway. It's Graeme Gordon that's made the best of the starts. And as they indeed come past me for the first time, I can see that Gary Lobb is right up there with Dean Garton in third and fourth place as they go into that first bend. Anthony Bugard has got up into second place. slows down on us. We look across the far side, you can see that Steve Daw has got himself to the front. There's yellow flags on this bottom bend, and Steve Daw working hard, comes up past us, leading from Anthony Bugard in second. Gary Lobb now challenging for that second place. Dean Garton back in fourth place to second. Goes through, I say goes through, he's trying to go through into second place. Anthony Bugard puts up a bit of a fight for that second spot. Steve Daw still leading as they come past us. Gary Lobb's up there in second now as he confirms that. Anthony Bugard in third. Dean Garton is holding fourth place just from Graeme Gordon. Would have wanted to be a battle on between the two of them. As they come towards the checker flag this time, it's the Steve Daw. Gary Lobb gets an important second place. Now remember, these are all top of the point scoring, so what's important is where their partners come in, and Graeme Gordon looks to have won that battle over Dean Garton. He's got the fourth place in front of Dean in fifth.
First, number 110. Second, number 7. Third, number 2. Fourth, number 263. Fifth, number 16. Sixth, number 223. Seventh, number 123. Eighth, number 471. Number order 110. Number 7. Number 2. 263. 16. 223. 123 and 471.
So as we move on to race 32, we're back with the quads once again, and will Sean Edwards now be able to get another win and make this competition his? Francis Marriott goes round the outside, or does he? He tries to go round the outside as Sean drives in hard on the inside of the front. I've got to say that he's worried me all afternoon the way he keeps looking down at machinery, but he still keeps on winning as he comes around off that bottom bend. It is Sean that's leading as he comes up past us. Sean, of course, on the 350 Yamaha Banshee, and I'm told that he is leading the championships in Cornwall at the moment. In this sort of form, you can certainly understand why. He goes down that back straight, trying to open the gap up between him and Francis Marriott. Francis, just for a moment there, I think got a bit closer as they went into that bend. So I don't know whether there was a hesitation from Sean, because certainly as they come past me, Francis is a lot closer to him this time. Rob Barnard on that 250 Yamaha in third place too, and there is definitely something wrong with Sean at the moment. You can see that Francis Marriott has gone through into the lead. Well, Sean looks to have got that bike back on song again as he goes into this bottom bend, but the lead certainly with Francis Marriott. Sean turns in extremely hard and tries to get a better line towards the flag, but it's a win for Francis Marriott. Sean Edwards gets second, and a quick confirmation of the points. I should be able to give you an overall result.
Result of race 32. First, number 9. Second, number 6. Third, number 69. Fourth, number 4. Number order 9, 6, 69 and 4.
Phil, and I've just quickly looked in my programme. I was thinking, well, there's no Rob Wilson or Robbie Wilson. There's no Pete Nunn or Chris Golden. So in fact, Colin Hicks and Kevin Stevens have just got to go around a complete race distance to get maximum points from this ride. Now, interestingly enough, that could put them in with a good chance of qualifying for that final, because it means that some of the top point scorers are obviously going to come up against each other in this last ride. So, as they know, they've just got a complete race distance, but knowing these two, I'm sure they're going to try and see how quickly they can get around this circuit, because the circuit obviously does change as the racing goes through the day. And Colin Hicks at the moment looking very comfortable as he leads coming past me. Kevin Stevens, obviously his partner, content with that second place. Okay, well, it's one of those things that you think does look a bit daft when you've only got two competitors out there and they're both the pairs of each other, but as they take the checker flag, they must complete race distance to gain the points.
Result of race 33. First, number 46. Second, number 1.
They're partnered by Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley, and as they get underway, looking for Mark Edwards, Richard Thomas pulls it in the air, it brings it under control again. As they go up that back straight, it's Mark Edwards that's got to the front. John Hiscock up there in second place, so this could be good point scoring from this crew as they come around past me for the first time. They are actually on 21 points coming into this last ride, so this sort of result in this ride will see them going into the final as they go up that back straight once again. Mark Edwards and Nick Walters leading from John Hiscock and Matt Sleep in second. It's Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley that are trying to close that gap down between second and third, but at the moment John Hiscock looks very, very comfortable. One more lap to go, then remember of course these races have been cut down to 3 laps due to obviously the dust problem, but as they go up that back straight, no problems at all for Mark Edwards and Nick Walters. John Hiscock still there in second place, so it's going to be maximum points for this pairing as they come over the line and take the checkered flag. Another win for Mark Edwards and his partner John Hiscock finishing in second.
Result of race 34. First, number 8. Second, number 184. Third, number 60. Fourth, number 52. Number order 8, 184, 60 and 52.
Looking at that start line, we get underway once again. John Halsey's made a very, very good start as he goes up that back straight. He's pulled Dave Steer with him, so this is going to be the sort of result that they wanted if they can stay as 1 and 2 as they go into that first bend in that position. Dave French back in third place with his partner Brett Osborne holding fourth at the moment. But John Halsey gets away and drags Dave Steer with him as Dave Steer again hugs those flags and goes for those tight lines. Well, I think this is just going to be a conformity ride because it means that we're going to see these two in the final. Problems for Brett Osborne on that far side. He's slowed. Dave French has now got all the track to himself in third. Well, indeed, as the checkered flag goes, it is going to be a race win for John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Their partners Dave Steer and Andy Orchard finish in second place.
Result of race 35. First, number 13. Second, number 17. Third, number 99. Number order 13, 17 and 99. And unfortunately 73 passed without his passengers, so no points are allocated to.
Far side. We know that Steve Smith unfortunately has had that blow up, so Craig Cheetham, I was going to say going out by himself, but I can see that we've actually got 6 outfits on the line. I think what it is that Chris Tyrrell has perhaps partnered Craig Cheetham, and Craig Cheetham could actually put the cat amongst the pigeons here by getting in between Ivor Matthews and Phil Pitman. He does exactly that going into the first bend as Chris Tyrrell's gone very, very wide. Phil Pitman has got to the front though as he comes down past us. So all he needs now is his partner Ivor Matthews to improve on his position, and I'm sure that we'll see them in the final as they go up that back straight. Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons leading, but you can see that Craig Cheetham's having a go at them. Craig Cheetham desperately trying to get to the front as they go into this top bend, drives in hard. Phil Pitman allows him to go and then turns in underneath and comes back underneath him as he comes past us. All sorts of problems for Craig Cheetham. Clive Reynolds falling off the back of the machine in front of us. And indeed, as the last lap flag is put out, you can see that wanted to bring the race to a halt. As the yellow flags go out, there's going to be a checkered flag as they go across the line, so this result will in fact stand as Adrian Davis had managed to get in front of Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons, but obviously concern here for Clive Reynolds down in front of us. Now that would be a lovely caption to put on the video, wouldn't it? Well, we sure there was a rider there when we were first notified.
Result of race 36. First, number 26. Second, number 90. Third, number 15. Fourth, number 43. Number order 26, 90, 15 and 43.
By Bob. The unfortunate news is that I tend to do the introductions on them, so yes, you've got to put up with me saying a few words about what the event is and things like that. But if you've missed any of the big events, and we have had some terrific racing around the country this year, then you can capture it on video. They're not expensive at all. It's worthwhile going and having a look because there's a lot of big meetings already gone this year. And he's also played around and done a few collective videos that if you're particularly interested in sidecars, then he's collected all the best sidecar races together on one video so far this year. So a lot of the big meetings where we've had like the Man of Kent, the Berks Bonanza, the Shropshire Championships, etc., the best races from those have been collated onto one video, and that must make terrific viewing if you're a sidecar fan. So that's at the Glasser stand. There's plenty to choose from. He does all the big meetings around the country, and they are terrific quality. It gives you race results, it gives you a lot of commentary underneath it as well. And as I say, the only bad bit about it is you have to put up with me trying to do a few interviews and things, but I'm sure you can live with that. But it does give you a chance to understand what the riders are thinking. So if you want to catch up on anything else that's been going on, that's the way to do it. Now with the 350s, this is the fourth and concluding leg, and the points will be worked out from this leg. Remind you that it's 14 points for a win, 12 for a second, 10 for a third, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And at the moment Steve Daw and Dave Mears are on 69 points, so I'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening as the race goes on. But as we get started, we're looking to see who's made the best of those starts, and it is indeed Dave Mears that's got away. So Dave Mears goes to the front as he gets into that first corner. Keith Potts is right there with him. I think that's Mark Taylor that's come up with them as well. Goes past Mark Taylor and goes past Keith Potts as well. So Steve Daw in terrific form and going after his partner as they come up towards me for the first time. Dave Mears in the lead, Steve Daw in second. This of course would give them maximum points and would give them victory in this event overall. As they go down the match straight, Steve Daw is now that second place right behind his partner Dave Mears. He comes around that bottom corner. Steve Daw lets him know that he's there, and indeed I'm sure David is pleased to see that Steve is there, because this of course will mean victory in the event. Mark Taylor is in third place, he's fighting with Keith Potts. That could sort out who's going to be second and third. Very, very quick 350 on Dave Mears. His partner, Steve Daw, they knew they were possibly in with a chance of winning this competition as they came to the Manchester. Terrific leading from Steve Daw, they know they won the event. With a maximum first and second place in that last heat, it confirms victory for them. We'll have to sort out who it is that's got second and third place. That'll be done very quickly. But for the moment, please show your congratulations to two terrific riders, partnered for the best pairs this year. They've had some terrific races all day. I think you've got to admit that one terrific grass track rider is Steve Daw and one consistent rider is Dave Mears. Put them together, you get a winning combination.
Result of race 37. First, number 139. Second, number 110. Third, number 170. Fourth, number 175. Fifth, number 15. Sixth, number 173. Seventh, number 37. Eighth, number 223. Ninth, number 38. 10th, number 34. 11th, number 444. 12th, number 717. Number order 139, 110, 170, 175, 15, 173, 37, 223, 38, 34, 444 and 717.
So we've seen the last of the 350 competition, that's the fourth and including heat, and we now know that the national best pairs winners of the 350 are Steve Daw and Dave Mears. We look to the other competitions and we move now to what are described as finals. But remind you, the points they've earned so far will be added to points they score in the final, and that gives us an overall result. The Cc Sidecar final, I can in fact give you the overall result of the 350, and if you stay for the presentation, obviously you'll see that confirmed when the trophies awarded. Mark Taylor and Neil Taylor got that third place. Neil Scopes and Keith Potts have ended up in second place, and Steve Daw and Dave Mears, as you know, did take the victory. Now I would remind you, of course, that is very unofficial points from me, but I'm sure they're accurate. Race 38, the 500cc sidecar is what we're looking for at the moment. It's 35 points apiece for Paul Miller and Richard Piggott, Kevin Leide and Mike Read. So a battle between these four outfits that could be upset by somebody like Lionel Cox getting in between them. So we'll keep an eye on the points as they go round. Oh, all six come into line as they get underway. There's some very quick starts there. Looking to see who's made the best of it. And it is Paul Miller that's got away. Richard Piggott has gone with him. It's those two that go into that first corner. Oh, trying to pick up where Kevin Laird is, and indeed he comes through on the inside. Kevin Laird. Richard Piggott strikes back. Paul Miller deciding to try and pull away as much as he possibly can to make sure of the race victory. He'll leave it then to his partner to actually conclude what's going to happen, and I wonder if Paul Miller has realised that Richard Piggott is in fact in second place. So they're on maximum points at the moment and will take this title if they stay where they are. As they go down that back straight, terrific riding from Paul Miller and Lester Goodwin. Richard Piggott and passenger Lynn Collin up there in second place, picking up all the dust off their partner's back wheel, but not worried about that at all, as they know they've now opened up a gap on Kevin Laird and Andy Thompson. Oh, Andy Robertson, I should say, is the partner for Kevin Laird this afternoon. Second and third place. It looks as if we're going to get overall victory for Paul Miller and partner this afternoon, Richard Piggott. If they take the checker flag, that ensures victory for them. Oh, Richard Piggott, I'm sure, is going to be very, very pleased with that result. Oh, Jerry Squirrel did in fact get between the other contesting pair as Mike Read comes across the line in fifth place.
We go to race 38. First, number 17. Second, number 92. Third, number 7. Fourth, number 34. Fifth, number 57. Sixth, number 78. Number order 17, 92, 7, 34, 57 and 78.
As they come round to receive your congratulations, they are the 1995 Best Pairs champions. Well, I'm sure Richard is going to be very, very pleased with that, because he's not had the best of results so far this season. Indeed, work commitments have kept his racing to a minimum, but that's one result I'm sure he's going to be very, very pleased with. In the 500cc solo final, we've got Steve Daw partnered with Graeme Gordon. That's 110 and 263. Number 25 is Jason Preen, partnered with number 419, Dave Ferry. Number 7 is Gary Lobb, partnered with Dean Garton, number 16. Number 23 is Mike Trevitt, partnered with number 33, Mark Dimmer. Number 49, Paul Fudge, is partnered with number 40, Craig Daniels. Number 3, Krista Marsh, is partnered with number 37, Roger Lobb. The point situation, well, Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon are on 71. Jason Preen and Dave Perry are on 69. Gary Lobb and Dean Garton are on 69. Mike Trevitt and Mark Dimmer on 54, Paul Fudge and Craig Daniels on 46, Chris DeMarsh and Roger Lobb on 46. So the battle between those top three pairs for first, second and third, 71 points, 69 and 69. So just 2 points separating those top three pairs. The points are scored 14 for a win, 12 for a second, 10 for a third, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as they finish. So we will watch to see what happens. It's a tremendous lineup of riders. Which one of these three pairs is going to take the 1995 title? Away we go, and as they come up past me for the first time, looking to see who's made the best of the starts. Paul Fudge has got to the front, Graeme Gordon's right up there, Dean Garton and Gary Lobb are in there as well. As they go into that first corner, it is Dean Garton has got the best of it coming out of the bends, and Dean Garton goes down that Steve Daw has gone into second. So Steve Daw having a terrific day. He gets up into second place as Dean Garton goes for the win. He pulls away from Steve Daw. Gary Lobb is up there in fourth place at the moment as we've got a fallen rider on that top bend. Oh indeed, the clerk of the course bringing the race to a halt. So poor Dean Garton will be very, very frustrated by that. He knows he had that race victory perhaps in his grasp. He'll be very, very disappointed. And what I'm saying, obviously we're going to get two races to enjoy, not just the one. Start to go up, we should be underway with this three-run of the final. Away we go, and look to see who's made the best of the starts this time. Well, it's Mark Dimmer that goes past me, Graeme Gordon's up there as well, Gary Lobb and Dean Garton are at the front though. So Dean Garton has got to the front once again as he goes round that top bend. Gary Lobb is moving through the Gary Lobb and Dean Garton trying to split them up. It's Steve Daw that's dived in between those two as they come round that bottom bend. Dean Garton though, leading from Steve Daw in second, Gary Lobb up in third, Graeme Gordon is back in fourth place at the moment. So remember now the partners are Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon. That one, but of course at the moment Dean Garton is leading and possibly will pick up the 14 points. Oh, the arithmetic's going to have to work rapidly here because as they come across the line they go into the last lap. It is Dean Garton that's still just leading from Steve Daw. Steve Daw trying everything he possibly can and he again tries to work his way around the outside. As the dust starts to fly, I can tell you that Steve Daw again is challenging for that lead. Indeed, as they come round past us, it is Steve Daw that's going to push you all the way to the line, and on the line it's Dean Garton that's got it. Steve Daw gets second place, Gary Lobb in third, Graeme Gordon finishing in fourth place. Well indeed, that's how they finish. And if we quickly allocate those points to them, Dean Garton of course has picked up the maximum 14 points, Steve Daw on 12 points. So it means that with Gary Lobb in third place, that's 24 points added to the partnership of Gary Lobb and Dean Garton. That gives them an overall total. This is very unofficial, I will say. That gives them 93. And if I add Steve Daw's 12 points to Graeme Gordon's 9 points, that gives them 21. Added to 71 gives them 93 points. No? Does that work out? 92 points, in fact. Well, I'll wait for official confirmation, but by my reckoning... Oh, should I say anything yet? Well, I think Steve Daw and Graeme Gordon think they might have won it, but... we'll wait for the official results, obviously. And obviously with the dust getting as thick as it was difficult for our lap scorers to get all the results all the way through. Quickly just collating them at the moment. So if my math serves me correctly, well, I think we could be hearing some loud Cornish cheers in a few moments if I can get confirmation of this result. obviously hoping to be able to tell you who'd won that overall competition, but the points have not been given to me as yet. My apologies for that, and obviously we'll confirm that in a very few moments, because already we're underway with the Sidecar finals. Remember, this has turned out to be where we've got one representative of each pair going in each final. At the moment, you've got John Halsey out there fighting with Phil Pitman, and John Halsey has just got to the front, but Phil Pitman is coming back at him as John Hiscock is the representative of the other pair. John Halsey, of course, partnered with Dave Steer, is representing that partnership, and it's John Halsey and Jason Glennie that lead at the moment from Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons. They're holding second place at the moment as they go into this bottom bend, as we watch to see them come up the back straight of this race, and indeed it is still John Halsey that's got the lead, but Phil Pitman has another go and gets close again in that top corner. He's forced to go a long way round and goes for the wide line. It is John Halsey that's going to take it. Phil Pitman gets second, John Hiscock gets third.
Second, number 110. Third, number 7. Fourth, number 263. Fifth, number 33. Sixth, number 49. Seventh, number 23. Eighth, number 40. Ninth, number 419. 10th, number 3. And 11th, number 25. Number order 16, 110, 7, 263, 33, 49, 23, 40, 419, 3 and 25. And the result of race 40, first number 13, second number 90, third number 184, number order 13, 90 and 184.
As we look to this, the final race of the day, it's got a very interesting position now on the points. I would emphasise that this is unofficial, that I'm adding the points up as we go through, and I'm just here as observer and commentator and trying to help, obviously. But by my reckoning, Ivor Matthews and Phil Pitman have moved on to 40 points. John Hiscock and Mark Edwards on to 38 points. John Halsey and Dave Steer on to 40 points. So effective as we go into this race, it could all be decided, indeed, between the positions of Dave Steer and Ivor Matthews. And as they come round that first bend, it's Dave Steer that's got to the front. So Dave Steer and Andy Orchard leading from Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones as they go into that bottom bend, and this indeed is a fight between these two. Mark Edwards could of course upset this result between these two, but at the moment, as Mark Edwards is fighting with Ivor Matthews, it's Dave Steer and Andy Orchard that lead, and they know that if they win this, they've won it overall. If they go down past us, Mark Edwards again tries to have a go at Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones going into that bottom corner. Those two outfits together as they go up that back straight, and Mark Edwards again looks for the gap and goes through. So as Mark Edwards gets up into second place, it makes it better for Dave Steer and Andy Orchard as they come towards the checkered flag. They're going to win the best pairs for 1995. So John Halsey and Dave Steer have won the national best pairs for 1995 with two terrific results there, with wins in those split finals. By my reckoning, that gives them 47 points overall. And perhaps disappointing for local crew Phil Pitman and Miles Simmons, Ivor Matthews not being able to perform in that last mini-final, and it means that I think by my reckoning they slot into second place, but I'll wait for that official result, as indeed the winners overall will be John Halsey and Dave Steer.
Result of race 41. First, number 17. Second, number 8. Third, number 15. Number order 17, 8 and 15.
So I was kind of hoping that we would see John Halsey and Jason Glennie, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard coming round to receive your congratulations, but obviously Dave Steer is determined to do it, and the four of them coming round together. Obviously very, very pleased with that result. John not bothering to get his outfit started again, comes round with Dave. They know they've won it, and indeed they did it the hard way. Two terrific finals, and indeed I can now confirm the official result of the 500cc solo competition, and I expect a massive cheer here because it was so close. But the overall winners and taking the title for 1995 are Gary Lobb and Dean Garton. Well, I thought one or two people would be pleased about that one. They won it just on 1 point from Steve Daw and Graeme. Can we? Yes? You don't know who's giving them out. Now, you see, I've been one step ahead of you because I found out who's giving them out. They've got to rope somebody in all the time, haven't they? And what better than somebody that we would be in debt to, as we are wherever we go in the country for grass track racing. We wouldn't have any grass track racing if it wasn't for the wonderful landowners that allow us to use their land. So, in a small token of appreciation, if I could ask Evelyn Boscowan to join me, or indeed hand out those trophies. Now, rely on this lady here. Indeed, thank you very much, because the gentleman does deserve a round of applause. Well, whatever you feel easiest with, because obviously the lady's going to be handing you all those trophies, which is going to take some doing. Do you know which ones are for who? I love it. Is there any club representative that knows who's getting what trophies? You've got numbers on the front, yeah? You can work it out, yeah? Oh, I must stop embarrassing herself. She's doing a wonderful job. Right, now it's usually me that ends up getting embarrassed. So we'll start the presentation as such, but before we do that, somebody is supposed to be getting me some flowers, aren't they? Have they run off? Look at that. So oh, here she comes. Look, we got the flowers as well. So the first presentation, we've got to get rid of these flowers to some very hard-working people, and I know I can just see her appearing out the caravan. Mary Hicks, if you could make your way over here. Yes, well done, Mary. A lot of hard work before the event and during the event.
Come on, Mary.
Hopeless, isn't it? Listen, Mary's got to have the sweet peas. You don't expect me to know what sweet peas are, do you? Flowers are flowers to me. Now, the other bunches we want to present are to Brenda Quintrell. Quintrell? Quintrell. Come on, Brenda. I know you've been running around a lot today. Well done, Brenda. Obviously, all your hard work is appreciated, Brenda. Somebody else that's done a lot of hard work as well is Caroline Jarvis. I knew Caroline wouldn't get embarrassed. It's just a suntan, isn't it? We know. And last but by no means least, the last bouquet of flowers goes to Anne Johns. They weren't expecting that, were you? Now this is a very kind lady that actually put together all the results for me. So we'll move on to what they've all been racing for this afternoon. And the first awards go to that of the quad class. And in the 250s, runner-up was Mark Quintrell. Here he comes. I won't repeat that. She said she's got 4 trophies. Do I give him the last 3? There was only 2 in the event. So, we had a second place. We need to have a winner. And of course, the winner of the 250s was Robert Barnard. Well done, Rob. A lot of hard work on that 250, but of course we had the 500 quads out there as well, and with a lot of bad luck he finished up in 3rd place. It was of course Andy Bassam. That's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Asking me what it's for. Right, we move on to second, and finishing in the runners-up spot, he seemed to want to get seconds all afternoon, Francis Marriott. So the winner of the event, and why with a performance like today, it was of course Sean Edwards. Right, we move on to the first of our national awards, and this is of course for the 350cc. See those massive hints I'm dropping there, look. 350cc, and it was run over 4 legs because obviously there was enough riders to put them all out in one race. Some very interesting partnerships that we started the day, and as it ended up, we finished up within 3rd place. The two that ride with the same name, of course, is 170 and 173, Mark Taylor and Neil Taylor. Most important, look, the prize money's been handed out as well. So, we move on to 2nd place in the 350, and I think you're going to see some very disappointed faces, but they certainly tried hard to hang on to their trophy. It was, of course, Neil Scopes and Keith Potts. Most importantly, they got the prize money up here as well. You know, it's worth making your way up here. For the winners of the 350 event and taking the 1995 title, I think you've got to say that at the start of the day it looks as if things weren't going to work out. You pull your cutout out on your first start, by the time you get to the finishing line you put your cutout back in. Disastrous start, but they've come through and they've won it at the end of the day. It is of course Steve Daw and Dave Mears.
We'll get these back.
So we're going to get those two to join me up here for a minute. If we try hard, perhaps. Come on, you can join me up here a bit so people can get some decent photographs. That's the excuse. Because you know that people do like to hear how things went, and Dave, I've got to start with you because that start of the day, I mean, you must have been thinking things are not going to work out today.
I thought it was going to be another British final last year, but it all come right at the end, so I'd like to thank the club for putting on a good meeting and everyone involved. So, cushy for next week then.
Oh, cushy for next week. Nice statement, yeah. Steve, a busy man today on the 350 and the 500. Must be very, very pleased with the way things went.
Yeah, we had a very good day. It's all about getting off the line really, but we made a good gate in the last leg and we held up there, so good day, yeah.
I was going to say, you're not famous for getting out of that gate, are you?
No, I think I'll be one of the world's worst, but I do like making life hard myself, so but Dave rode well and yeah, we're still there.
Well, indeed, a great result to show your appreciation. The 1995 Best Pairs 350 champion. It's easier riding a motorcycle, I know. The 500cc sidecars had a very tough event to win. We finished up in 3rd place with the number 34 and 78. It was, of course, Jerry Squirrel and Lionel Cox. And I knew what their passengers as well, but I'm struggling to remember the names. Well, as they pick up their trophies for 3rd place, of course, we move on to 2nd place. And as much as I'm trying to remember all the passengers' names, I think we had a few changes today as well, didn't we? Well, finishing in 2nd place, that was one of the changes. In 2nd this year is Kevin Leide, and of course that change of passenger, Andy Robertson, and Mike Read and Duncan Bradford. That's it, all the photographs need to be taken. And Andy, very importantly, remembers to pick up the money as well. And he's handed it over straight away. Very impressive. Well, of course, they now want the... What are those things called? Laurels, that's it. They now have to sort the laurels out because we've got the winners coming up. And the winners of the 500cc Sidecar title for 1995 are former Mr. Goodwin, Richard Piggott and Lynn Collett. So we've got to sort out whether we've got enough laurels now, have we? Richard decides Lynn can have the flowers. Yeah.
We've got another one. We've got some more. I'm not going to go without it.
Well, I'm just wondering whether they're all going to line up and get the photographs taken together. You're welcome to join me up here, people, if you want to. Lynn's decided she's got the money and that's enough for her. Right, they're all going to line up and get the photographs taken down there now, look. There we are, look. If I move out the way, that won't spoil the photo. Well, I'm not going to let you get away because Bobby's still filming, but Paul, obviously I've got to ask you quickly, set up nicely for next week now.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, it gives us confidence whenever you win, makes you feel better, so hopefully that'll have a knock-on effect for next week. And the European, which apparently we've unofficially been told that we're in now, so we was only reserve.
So, super news, and that indeed is the week after next, isn't it? And we obviously wish you the best of luck for that European. Representing us in Europe as well as in the UK, the winners for the 1995 Best Pairs 500 Sidecar Championships, Paul Miller and Lester Goodwin, Richard Piggott and Lynn Collett. I've got another bit of paper here somewhere, I know I have. Right, the 500cc Solo. This one I think we will build up to a very loud round of applause at the end because we start with third place, the tough competition to win. This was the one that there was 3 heats in every single leg. It was by far the toughest one perhaps to win. Finishing in third place this year with Jason Freed and Dave Mears. Well, indeed, so very hard and tough racing, and indeed getting that third place was no mean feat at all. Finishing up in second place, though, you've already seen him up here once for the 350 title. He's finished second in the 500s. It is, of course, Steve Daw and partnered by Graeme Gordon. I know that Steve will be happy to go home with a bit of extra money, but of course it's another trophy as well. The one that they all wanted, of course, was first place, and having the title of National Best Pairs is one very worthy for the history books, and indeed I think there's going to be a lot of people pleased that these two names go into those history books as winners of the 1995 500cc solo class, Gary Lobb and Dean Garton. Now what do you reckon? Am I going to get these two up here to join me? I've got to, haven't I? Gary, I do need to have a word with you quickly. You know that there's a lot of fans out there that have been cheering for you too. And mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind with you was that you didn't seem to want to win a race unless it was stopped and restarted.
Well, yeah, I was a bit unlucky with the ruts, but the second time I made a rut and it was better in the second race, so yeah, it was good. And in the final I made a good start, but when it was stopped I thought, oh, I'm not going to do it again, but it's just, you know, luck really getting out in front, but it's good.
Well, everybody's talked about the gating and how important that gating was, and of course from your point of view you won it from the start. Do you think that it would have been easy enough to come through?
Not really with the dust, it was a bit dusty, but Gary did well to come third, and when you're out in front it is a lot easier, so it's a good close meet and it's, you know, really good.
Excellent, well done Dean, and of course Gary, I've got to have a quick word because I think as we just said there, actually you were the ones that seemed to be doing all the battling. You made hard work of it.
Yeah, we never made easy work of it, and when it comes to the final I seen Dean had a good start, so I knew I had to work way through. Got to third and I thought that should be alright, but when we seen Steve Daw at the end I thought it wasn't no good, but lucky enough it was alright.
Indeed it was alright, indeed a very worthy victory to two very talented riders, the national best pairs champions, Gary Lobb and Steve Daw. This has proved far more dangerous, hasn't it? Right, well we've got some more trophies to give away hopefully. We're left with 6, aren't we? That's what we need, because we're on to the 1000cc right-hand sidecars, and as you all saw at the end of the day it was changed slightly. We've just put another interesting little cliche to it, but it means that in third place we've ended up with a man that seems to be picking up awards every weekend. Of course the driver was Mark Edwards, passenger Nick Waters, and they were partnered by John Hiscock and Matt Sleep. Come on, do as you're told. You've got to turn around and have the photos taken. That's it, they're getting upset now because I won't speak to because they got third. Has she finished taking the photos? That's the important thing. Do you think it makes any difference that she's got her hands over the lens? Oh, that's it. Got the important one, that's the main thing. Well, indeed, that was your third place. Mark Edwards, Nick Waters, John Hiscock and Matt Sleep. It moves on then to second place, and I'm sure that we're going to get a big cheer for this one. So close it ended up. They were just missed out slightly in that final. It was, of course, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones, partnered by Phil Pitman and Lobb. So indeed, the second place trophies, and as always, that is something that they will treasure because it's a memory of 1995 in this National Best Pairs. But as all the photographs get taken, it leads me on to just say that there are just 2 more trophies to be collected. They, of course, are for the winners. As we lose our second place crews, the winners of the 1000cc right-hand sidecar. We knew right from the start of the day that even though it was a big track, it looked to be a safe circuit to ride, it was not going to be an easy victory. Well, they didn't make it easy either because they started badly on points, but they've come through and done it in the final. The partnership of John Halsey and of course Dave Steer, not forgetting passengers Jason Glennie and Andy Orchard. And this is where we see a great big smile from the organiser, look, because she's got enough laurels left. Now what What do you reckon the chances are of getting those 4 up here? More chance of me getting to the moon, I know. I mean, really, start of the day, a bit lackadaisical, just picking up the odd few points, but that final, very determined driving.
Well, John put a lot of pressure on us winning it, but we had to win it, and that was it, really.
So I've got to blame John for putting the pressure by winning that first final, have I? Right, John, did you hear that? He reckons it's all down to you, but obviously some great riding from him as well.
Yeah, we did well again today, really. Like you said earlier on, we went into the final when we were on the least amount of points, and the way they did it, split into the 2 groups of 3. Basically, we had to win both finals, and we did it, so yeah, it's good.
Brilliant racing indeed. Jason, I know that you're a man of few words, but I don't know what's going on behind me now. Jason, obviously, you know, you've travelled a long way down here to get to this meeting this weekend, and obviously very pleased with the result.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough racing out there today. It was very, very driving. The bike was trying to understeer all the time. We had a lot of messing about all day long to get it right. But we got it right. And like I say, Dave done well, I thought. Dave did very well in the final. And I'm very pleased with Dave, to be honest, to have done what he done with all that pressure. So well done to Dave as well, to be honest, yeah.
Well, indeed, it was second last year, but you've ended up being the champions this year. You've had a first, and a third, and a second, and now a first. What did I need to know that for? Anyway, the champions of this year, the British Best Pairs champions for 1995 in the Sidecar 1000cc class, it was of course John Halsey and Jason Glennie, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard. And Andy's over the moon. I didn't speak to him though. Sid now is disappearing off to the beer tent, I'm told is the order of the day. So I hope you've all enjoyed the racing you've seen here this afternoon. I think the riders done tremendously well, the organising club, brilliant. Our thanks of course to England, the landowner of course, for allowing us to use this land, and we hope that will continue into the future. And of course, it only remains for me to say, have a very safe journey home, and I hope that we're going to see you at another grass track fairly soon.